Okay, guys, thanks for coming out. Before we get started, I just want to send my best wishes to Pat Hobbs. As you guys know by now, Pat's stepping away, and I just wish him the best with his health and his future. And I think we did some really good things together here at Rutgers in the last 4 years. And again, I wish he and his family the best. Scrimmage today. We got a lot of young guys, a lot of work. It was excellent. I think we made some decisions, and the guys practiced very hard this week. It was a tough week. And we decided to hold a bunch of guys that have hundreds and hundreds of reps in Big Ten games to hold them out and start getting ready for the opener. So we'll transfer our focus on Monday to Howard and start getting ready for the opener on Thursday night. So I'll take any questions.
Greg, I know you talked about Ethan before. What's the backup quarterback battle like now?
The backup quarterback battle? Yeah, Johnny is the backup quarterback, and he's done a nice job. He's getting better. I thought today was an excellent opportunity. He had like 80 plays. He played a game, and I thought he did well. You know, anytime you walk away and you don't turn the ball over, it's a great day for the offense. Now, since I'm the head coach, I'm not really pleased. Defensively, we got no takeaways, but we did block a few, so that was good.
A couple weeks ago in Indianapolis, you said that Rutgers is the most vertically aligned from an athletic standpoint that it's been. With Pat's resignation, does that change? And what does Pat's resignation mean for your football program?
Well, we are vertically aligned. You know, it starts with our governing board, and we have a great new chairperson or chairman in Amy Towers. You know, she just took over. We've had great leadership there, and everybody is aligned of what the role of athletics is at Rutgers and how we're going to do it. And then with President Holloway, he's phenomenal. I mean, he's a huge supporter of everything Rutgers. And I think what happens is, you know, the old saying, all boats rise with the tide. And everything at Rutgers is getting better, including their athletic department. So, you know, Pat won't be with us anymore, but he did a lot of things to help in that. And, you know, wherever it goes, whoever becomes the next athletic director, will continue on that mission, because I know that that our administration and our leadership, our board, are going to make a great hire when it's time.
Just kind of following up on that, what do you expect your level of involvement to be and your level of input in the search process?
Yeah, I don't have any expectation, really. I'm here to, you know, I'm focused on getting this scrimmage graded and then turning our focus to Howard and getting. I have a job, and I'm the head football coach, and I plan on trying to do that the best I can.
Greg, you mentioned before a lot of young guys are standing out to you. You brought in a couple young receivers this year. Anyone specific among that group really standing out?
Yeah, I think several of them are. You know, I think Ben Black's done a nice job. KJ Duff's done a nice job. And then I always forget somebody when you don't, you know. Yeah, I think we're a much improved receiver corps. Hats off to Dave Brock and to Johnny. I mean, those guys, Johnny Perry, those guys do a heck of a job coaching our wideouts, and our wideouts want to be coached. You know, Fama Toure made some great plays today. You know, those are all young football players. Then you saw Stretch making some plays out there at the end, which was good to see. So, yeah, I'm encouraged, and I'm encouraged with our older guys as well.
Personally, how would you describe your relationship with Pat Hobbs and the time you spent together?
Oh, it was good. Yeah, we worked well together. I thought, you know, I have a unique kind of experience at Rutgers. You know, that whole 11 years, and, you know, when we started, it really wasn't very good. I mean, not just the record, facilities, everything was awful. So when you go through that, you kind of build experiences, you build relationships. And then I come back out of nowhere, you know, 9 years later. But there were still a lot of the same people in place. So I think the combination of my relationships and the new relationships that Pat had formed, it was good. It was good for football. It was good for athletic department. And we're going to continue going in that direction. I know, you know, Ryan Passari was named interim athletic director, and Ryan is a football guy. He's an athletics guy. He's a Rutgers guy. He's a New Jersey guy. So he'll bust his rear end to make sure we keep it on track. And all the senior leadership team over there in the athletic department will work very hard to make sure that, there's nothing to worry about. We're going to make sure this thing keeps moving forward.
What is your ideal candidate for the next athletic director at Rutgers?
I'm not going to get into any of that, right? I want to coach this team. I want to get ready to go play this game. It's 11 days away, right? So, look, you always want someone you can work with and that is vertically aligned. And our institution is vertically aligned. So let's get someone that wants to join in and just make it better. That's it.
With the early bye week, did you approach training camp any differently coming into this year?
That's a great question. Yeah, I had to definitely consider that. And it's interesting. We have a very choppy season. We have the 2, right? And then we play the 6, and then we play the 4. And there's buys, and there's Friday nights, and there's cross-country trips, and there's a lot of things to just. So we've put together a plan for the season. And I'm sure we're going to have to adapt that a little bit. Things change, but yeah, that buy was definitely workload, player loads, all those things. Knowing that there's a bye week after 2 weeks, for sure.
Greg, have you done a captain vote, or you have a timeline for that?
We have done the captain's vote, and I know who they are, but I haven't announced them to the team yet, so I won't do that publicly. But sometime early in the week, we'll make that public. I do, yeah.
Can you just describe what you saw from the scrimmage today and why most of your first team reps or first team guys were mostly resting?
Yeah, I mean, we worked really hard this week. They would have come out and only done thud. They weren't going to do live. Thud is when you just butt them up, but no one tackles to the ground, no one blocks to the ground. And, we had enough. It's my job to, what's enough? You can always do more, that's for sure, right? But at what cost? And I thought we were tired. They worked really hard. It was humid this week. We really got after it. And I wanted them to have a warm-up today and then the rest of the day off, then all day tomorrow off, rest and recovery, and then get going on Howard. So you're talking about a lot of guys that have played, 5 to 1,500 reps. Some of them have over 2,000 reps in Big Ten games. So I think we're at the point now where we got to start focusing our direction to game prep, and I really didn't want to risk injury.
What have you, Chris, and then Brian to finish? What have you seen from a Dariel Javom in training camp and kind of where he is in his development right now?
Yeah, I think he's made a big move. Defensively, as a linebacker, he's done great. I think had a really, really fine camp. And special teams, he's been a real standout on all our special teams. So talking about a valuable member of the team. He's big, he's strong, and he's fast, and he's a violent hitter. So those are pretty good traits for a linebacker.
2 quick ones. Have you had a chance to talk to Pat since he resigned?
We've communicated, yeah.
And what was that conversation like?
Yeah, it's personal.
How do you feel about your depth at defensive tackle? Guys like Keontae Hamilton coming back, but younger guys behind him. Where do you feel like you're at that position?
I think we have good depth on the defensive front overall, but it's such a violent position, that changes like that. So you have to have that depth, and you have to be developing young players behind them because, like I said, remember last year towards the end of the year, it got thin, real thin, and there's nowhere to hide when you don't. On either front, when you get thin and now you're down to lesser players, it changes the way you play the game of football and the way you coach the game. So it's critically important that we keep those guys healthy. Appreciate you coming out, guys. Thanks.